So the system I'm going to share with you today is what I use to increase my energy level. I put it together with trials and errors. In fact, I just had a discussion with my wife, how important it is to learn from our mistakes. So I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes. So she gave me a big hug. We've been married 19 years, so now I understand why she's been hugging me so much. Let me ask you this. What if you could have the energy level that you want at any time of the day, whether it's 9 a.m., 3 p.m., or 9 p.m.? What if you could get to Friday night without being exhausted and for once enjoy the evening? Here's a crazy one. What if you can have great energy even on a Monday morning? Hi, my name is Francis Papineau. I'm originally from Montreal. After college, I moved to Florida so I could go to the beach and play hockey on the same day. From 2004 to 2008, I had less and less energy, and I started getting chest pain. I remember being in the doctor's office, wearing only a gown, sitting on one of those cold examination tables, and waiting there for what seemed to be an eternity. Finally, the doctor came in and said, well, your heart is fine, but you are 40 pounds overweight and you have elevated blood pressure. And he said, your chest pain is probably stress-related. Well, the doctor was right. At that point in time, I had just lost my job through downsizing and my wife was pregnant. Then the doctor said, let's treat this without medications. How about if you start by losing weight and naturally your blood pressure should come down? I said, I like that. That's when I started my journey of putting a plan together that worked for me. So I knew I needed to lose weight, gain energy, but I also wanted to enjoy the process. So I went back to the doctor's office the following year. I had lost 40 pounds, I had great energy, and my blood pressure was normal. So the doctor says, congratulations, great jobs, and keep eating more veggies than sweets. I said, doctor, I'm so relieved that my blood pressure is normal. And when you mentioned limiting the amount of sweet, it reminded me of a Star Wars joke. The doctor says, oh, I'm a big fan of the Star Wars movie. Let me hear your joke. I said, okay. Here it is. What do Jedis on a budget eat for dessert? Only one cannoli. All right, here are the 5 strategies that I use to increase my energy level. You guys ready for dinner, right? All right, first strategy, simply get moving. How about we do this? Go ahead, stand up, please. There we go. Now I want you to stand on one leg, all right? I know you had wine. If you need help, you could use your neighbor. If you don't know your neighbor, you will. If you're doing well, then go ahead and switch side. It's good for your balance. It's good for core strength. And also will increase your energy level. Movement will increase your energy level. Go ahead, come down on both feet. You guys did very well. Go ahead and look at the person next to you. Give them a high five. There you go. Go ahead and have a seat, please. All right, it's all about choices. So after a tough day at work, what choices do you make? Do you sit in front of the TV, or do you go out for a walk and get moving? How about this one? You sit in front of the TV, eat junk food the whole night, and by the end of the night, your energy level is so low that you're too tired to walk to your bed, and you end up sleeping on the couch. I see some heads nodding there. All right, movement triggers endorphins and will make you more energetic and mentally sharp. All right, so first strategy, choose to move. Second strategy, choose an activity that has meaning for you. All right, who here knows somebody that says, oh, I have to go work out, make it sound like a chore? Or have you ever observed at the gym, people will drive around the parking lot a few times to find the closest spot to the front door? All right? And then they go in and walk on the treadmill. Have they? You're like, okay. How about this? Choose an activity that has meaning for you. If walking on the treadmill is boring, go walk in the woods. Go play pickleball. Take a dance class with a friend. That was an aha moment for me when I decided to go back to playing hockey, just like I did growing up. To me, ice skating brings me such a sense of freedom. I don't think of anything else. It's enjoyable. Find that connection. Find that meaning and enjoy the activity. People always say to me, "You're not a real hockey player. How come you have all your teeth?" Then I just smile. Third strategy, make an appointment with yourself. Would you cancel an appointment over and over with a client and expect great results? Of course not. Right? You work hard to serve your clients and you're going to show up. Treat yourself with the same respect. Schedule a workout time and show up. Or schedule a workout time with a friend. That'll make the activity more enjoyable and that'll make you more accountable as well. Right? Be committed to your well-being. Say you decide to go run in the morning and you're 90% committed. When the alarm goes off, now you have to decide, am I going to run or not? Because you gave yourself a way out by the uncommitted 10%. Right? If you're 100% committed, you don't even think about it. You just get up and go. Let's go back 19 years. Imagine I say to my girlfriend, I love our times together, get down on one knee, say, would you marry me? I am 70% committed to our relationship. Would she be my wife today? I might still be kneeling there, right? And I would have missed out on all her hugs. Fourth strategy, add feelings to it. All right? How would having more energy make you feel? Would you feel grateful to have energy left at night to play with the kids? Would you feel more creative and empowered in your professional life? Would you feel more peaceful and present in your family life and social life? Or would you just be more compassionate and loving in general? Being grateful is a very powerful emotion. And we get more of what we focus on. If we focus on what we are grateful for, that will make our energy level go up, and that will train our brain to look for more things to be grateful for, which is going to make our energy level go up again. Let's think about how we feel when we focus on what we don't have. Why? We might feel envy, self-pity, sadness, all those feelings that we get when we're focusing on what we're lacking drain our energy down. It's moving us away from being peaceful. Personally, I'm very grateful to live here in Florida and be able to walk on the beach. I love it. The last time I went to the beach with my family, I explained to my daughter why seagulls fly over the sea. And that's because if they flew over the bay, there would be bagels. My wife is the one teaching at home. Fifth strategy, be in the moment. All right? So if you ever go to the park or the playground with kids, whether you stay there an hour or 4 hours, it's never long enough. Right? They don't want to stop having fun. Here's my theory, why children have so much energy. That's because they don't waste any time or energy thinking about the past, and they don't waste any time and energy worrying about the future. They are right in the moment. And to me, being in the here and now is the fountain of youth. So think of being in the moment as using your senses. If you go walk in the woods, for example, be aware of the colors around you. Listen to the birds singing. Smell the scents of nature. Feel the breeze of the hot sun on your skin. I had a client that could barely speak and use his fingers following a stroke. And from speaking to him and his family, I realized that his passion was music. He wanted to go back to play the accordion. That had meaning for him and brought back good feelings. So he actually was able to get back to playing the accordion, and watching him was priceless. He was beaming. Even though he couldn't express his feelings, you could see his nonverbal showed joy and happiness. He was in the moment. And that brings me back to about that same time frame. I had a coworker with a very high energy level. One day I said to him, listen, I have to ask you, how can you maintain such a high level of energy day in and day out? He said that he read an article that stated that laughing for 2 minutes is just as beneficial for your health as jogging for 20 minutes. So every day since then, during his lunch break, he sits in the park and laughs at joggers. All right, let's do a recap. So to increase your energy level, first get moving, then choose an activity that has meaning for you, that brings you joy and happiness, and be 100% in the moment. Thank you very much.